comma name, comma industry from account. Okay, see, like this you need to write a query. So if you want to test it, the query, how it is working under, it's really properly wrote or not, you want to test it, you need to go open developer console. We have a query editor. Here you can write a queries, either it can be SOQL or SOSL. But now see, you need to write a select. Select is a keyword which you have to maintain for SOQL queries. After that, you need to define the column names: ID, name, industry, account. Say how many columns you want to refer. Those many columns you can separate it by the comma and started with the keyword card select from the particular table. So you need to write like that and just try to click on execute. It will get the data like this. See this ID, name, and industry. And you want to know more, you want to write more fields, you can write it like type whatever you can see. So now ideally by default we don't know what are the fields are available. So how you need to go, you need to go to the either setup, after that you need to see here object manager, then search for a select object and see the here fields and relationships. Here, whatever the field names are available over here, those you can consider as a query fields or columns. You can say these are all the things are those only. You are getting from there and you can use it. That is the one way. Okay. And second way, like you can directly go to the open control Y. If you click, it will open and select the objects and search for the whatever object you are targeting. Search for this account. It will show the list of the fields available on that particular object. You just simply come whatever the fields are you want to select, and you just execute it whatever. If you execute it, then if you click query, it is automatically will be generate the query itself. Even you don't need to write, it just generated automatically. See, I just selected and just click the query. Query will be generated. After query generated, you just click on execute and see this. You got it, how to create and all the query and where to reference, how you can reference, how to do and all. You got it now. So now this is the query getting. Okay, query to get the query like this, you need to use it. Okay, now for a, in this particular object, you can say like this. Even any object you want to refer, you can go open that and choose the different object. Like for example, contact. Okay, select this. You will get again here. You can see easily ID, name, last name, first name, all the street, other street, whatever, phone number. You can simply select that and click query. It will automatically, it should generate the query. See here and click execute. Now see all the contact queries also you will get it like this. See, select ID, last name, first name, other street, other postal code. These are the details which is you selected only in the query. Here you can see the same things you selected and it is came into like this. So this is nothing but query creation or query generator, you can say. Now you are getting the query and data also you are getting. So on after you get the data, on top of it you want to perform some DML operations, then you can perform in it. For now you can just very basic I am talking about query, how simple query you can return, how you can perform operations on it. So let's go now. So yesterday we were worked on insert operation on account. Now I will do one thing. I will get the list of the IBM data whichever I have inserted that I want to get back. Means I want to get the data and modify IBM into Tech Mahindra. Hyderabad changed as Vizag. Okay. These details I want to change it. So first of all, I want to change those details or modify those details. I need to get the data from which object account. How to get it? List of account, and you can mention list account equal to new. Here I was written like a new and all, but here you can directly mention the query. Select ID, comma name from account. Again, here you want to mention one more thing called. You want to also get it in billing city, right? Mention that also. So you will get all the list of the accounts with these all the details. Okay, you are getting your simple query you written, and you are getting the data and trying to perform on DML operation on it, means update operation. There are multiple ways you can make it as dynamical. I can tell you dynamic queries. For now, simple queries you can discuss. So I got the data. I will write a for loop because n number of records will be there. I will write the for loop. Count SSI and write the data. Once you got the data, again you need to verify that only these values are IBM details only you want to update. Okay, if name equal to IBM, which name this reference ACC account dot name equal to if this, then only I need to update. If I want to update, what I have to do? I need to write update details, like these are the details only you can write. I can write it, but then you can easily understand. Account here. It's called object creation. Okay, object creation I'm doing. A dot name equal to techm. A dot industry software. Even doesn't mandatory you. It's not mandatory to write since you want to update only two fields. You can ignore it also. So you are provided and assign the values to it. Now try to. These are the values are you are getting this. Not necessary to this much actually. You just then you required one more list to update. It's an instance you should create it, otherwise the query exception errors will get it. This value dot add SEC if I mention, then the values will be will goes to here. After that you need to update. Outside the loop only you can try to write it. Never ever try to write inside the loop. Try to write always outside the loop. So if in this code in anywhere you want to know the code error or getting something, try to write wherever it is possible. You are trying to get the data here. You try to write a debug over here. So query, you can like that. You can write it and try to execute it now. Go and see. Select the logs and see it is executed. Select this. The query first these are all the IDs. You can see the name. These are the values. Every data is came. After you got it, every data, how many records you have updated. It took these many records. Data has been updated. Means you can go and see whether you are able to find IBM records or not. See, wherever you got the data, it is completely you are getting only TechM, which is I have mentioned previously as IBM that is updated over here. You can open and see that also. TechM software billing address is Vizag. Previously it was in Hyderabad, right? Now it's C. So to get the data from database, you should use the query. And query, you have to mention the whatever the values you want to update. Means account name. If I want to update that field name, I have to take and assign the different value and do update on top of it. You should do update operation. Anyone has any question over here?
So the 60 line, why is that? Yeah,
This
this
is
one.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you got the data of list of data. Okay.
Okay.
You are getting, but you want to update
So I
those.
get data from the 58th line, right?
Yes, you got a line from 50th line, correct?
Yeah. So the sentence is
You
closing.
have you get the data and keep it those data into here.
Yeah.
You stored
Okay.
here. That data you are used into loop over it. Looping. Did I told like this object based loop?
Yes, yes. I know that.
Okay, so I taken as object-based query and I mean data. I one each value I'm sending to here. And
Hmm.
also I'm checking the condition over inside it. If
Hmm.
this means you will get in all the records. If there is 100 records are there in account, you will get 100 records. So 100 records it will go inside. Okay, it will go inside. But to modify or to do something on it, it will take a condition checkup an account value. There is account s is equal to this value. Then only it will assign to these values and performing operation on it accordingly. Means only these values only should be modified.
Hmm.
But here, if you remove and try to see how many times this loop will execute, loop will continually execute and how many records are there in this list.
So then yes, 60th line is the something other thing, doing other thing.
Which one you are asking? This 60th line.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, for example, this is also list. This is also list only. Correct.
Yes, yes, yes.
I can add this ACC into this also, correct? If I
Yes,
add
yes.
it to these values over here, what will happen? See, Basically, there is no data, so it is not finding any error. Let me change to TechChem to IBM. What is the issue is getting system final exception cannot modify a collection while it is being iterated. Okay, you are getting the data from the query using this list and you are trying to modify to assign the values to it and trying to update it, it won't work. So that I have written separately one more list to maintain instance of this process.
Okay.
Now you got the clarity. So ideally, when in any time, most of the time we will think like, okay, why I need to write these all things. Even you want to avoid this line, you directly write this query over here. Okay, you directly take that query and paste it over here. It doesn't require to write even that line also.
Okay.
This one more for loop, you can say query based for loop. You just directly write and execute this. You can still perform the DML operation now. But since I didn't, I can change these values and keep it as again IBM only. Now try to run and see. If these many records are updated, you can go and check it out and just refresh this value, what we'll see. See this IBM and only this account name only will change, but Vizag doesn't change because I didn't mention any different names. Correct. Vizag, I keep it as Vizag only, but I just change the names.
Okay. Okay.
So this is called query based for loop. Remember this. So the for loops you can use it. There are three things. A traditional for loop, which like you can say like this one. You need to define like integer I equal to initialization condition and increment or decrement. That is the traditional for loop. Somewhere you can see the object based queries. I mean object based for loop. You can say object based. This is the object based for loop. Like you are referred all the values into this list and you are running into it. It's you execute and trying to perform insert operation whatever. Okay. This is called object based. Coming down, which I told today, that is called query based for loop. So queries, why we use it? To get the data from database. Clear now?
Yes.
Okay. Now I can tell you few more things here. You should. It's very important to everyone. See here, anything is error or success or whatever happen into over here. You can just see here. You just open this link. Double click on that any particular link. It will open the all the transaction logs. See here are all the things you can see. Any error if you get it, you can get it here. And means before these all the these 10 statements like a limit statements, you can see the fine in the just nearby fine only you can find the errors ideally. Not only in this any places errors or something you can find over there. See here system final exception cannot be modified the collection while it is being iterated. This is what error we got it previously, correct? Okay, you should come here and verify that what are the errors it is coming. In the logs only you can find it. Again, you can see here, there are the limitations for each transaction. Means this particular apex has been executed. In this, whatever the errors are there, those you can find over here. And these are all the things are limitations for this. Means in transaction, these limitations like in the I just used it one query entire this which the code which I have been executed. I just used only one query, one time query. See here, you can use 100 queries in a single transaction, but I used one. And I can use 50,000 records rows to exit out, but I get just at 239 records only. I got it, I retrieved it, I queried. Among those, number of 0 SOSL queries. SOSL, I didn't use anything. And DML statements, I didn't use anything in that time. And because it is failure, so it is not showing any operations has been executed. Number of published immediate, you can see the 0 one out of 150. The records which you can modify or update or insert to 10,000 records you can perform. This is CPU timeout, basically milliseconds seconds. We can say that you can count by this kind of number. Maximum heap size 6k MB, or I think bytes, or you can say 6 MB. 6 MB data you can metadata you can handle it. Number of callouts, these many invocable messages, these are like that. This is you can consider as query governor limits. You might hear many times. This is the same. In future, you might hear governor limits, governor limits. If the single class or anything which is executed, that you can a single statement itself it is executed, you can find these are all the governor limits on it. Now I executed also insert operation. You can come down and see that whatever you can't find any errors over here. If the data operators are processed successfully done on those details, you can see here what are the records has been updated. Now see this DML statement also executed one, because this is successfully executed. Hello. If no
Hmm.
doubt, and pretty
Which
cool thing. I mean, I will discuss more detail about queries, because I just very basic thing which you should understand about DML update operation, so that I explain like this. Tomorrow I'm going to explain completely about SOQL queries.
okay.
There are a number of objects, how we can write into one query, and there are operators. You can say everything
So
we can talk about.
DML operation is like you have to just use select ID, comma, name, and that's the field
That
name
is a query,
from
not
account.
a query.
Yeah, DML query.
You can say SOQL queries.
Oh, SOSL.
SOQL,
SOQL. Okay,
SYSL,
okay. SOQL.
SOQL. Hmm.
Okay,
Ideally, we will hear about SQL database something. Okay. In
okay.
Salesforce, we can say SOQL. SOQL in the sense Salesforce object query.
So this SOQL query we can use with for loop or state condition.
You can use n number anything. It's SOQL which does just getting the data. That's it. After that,
Yes.
whatever you want to, you can do.
Okay, okay. Try.
Okay. Try to do this again and contact our opportunity.
Yeah, I will try, but maybe
Okay.
not tomorrow. Maybe
Hmm.
after 2 3 days.
Okay. Now you can ask Sakta to him anything if you want.